What is everybody? Daniel08 back once again on our video. 2006 year in review continues with WWE Backlash. My goodness. I said at the beginning of 2006, this whole review, that this year they really tried to be Attitude Era so badly. And Backlash is basically the epitome of them trying to be the Attitude Era because we have a match with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon taking on Shawn Michaels and God. That's right, the holy man himself, God, is going to beam down upon in Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky, in the Rump Arena, and is going to make his presence felt. And he is going to compete against the McMahons. God has been booked. And judging by his performance, it's obvious that, well, God just wasn't a very good wrestler and has not been booked since. Sorry, Lord, but this is just a weird show overall. First of all, we got Carlito defeating Chris Masters in a decent, good match. Overall, I give it a 6 out of 10. After WrestleMania, they split up a lot of Raw tag teams. Kane and the Big Show were split up, and they will have a match later on. Carlito and Chris Masters, they split up. The two young stallions have split up, and now they're going up against each other. Carlito, with his feet on the ropes, cheats to win, and I guess he is the babyface of the group. I'm sure Vince McMahon would rather have Masters be the babyface, but, you know, Carlito is just much more liked. Again, it just makes me sad how Chris Masters is 23 years old. I'm 23 years old, and Chris Masters has had a WrestleMania match and a WWE Championship match, and I am still living with my grandparents. What am I doing with my life? I'm a fucking loser. Anyways, let's move on. A 6 out of 10. We move on to the debut of Umaga. Umaga, God rest his soul. I loved Umaga when I was watching. Umaga was just fucking crazy. The Samoan bulldozer, or Samoan bulldog, as one stupid Mike Adamle said. He takes on Ric Flair in this was basically an enhancement talent match, honestly. This was basically a jobber match. Umaga jobs out Ric Flair in about 3-minute time. And, at this point in time, you start seeing that Ric Flair is probably towards his last legs, honestly. His rivalry that he had with Triple H being in the past, that was fantastic stuff. And I think from here up until his WrestleMania 24 match, he doesn't really do a whole lot of stuff. So you can definitely tell at this point, Ric Flair is definitely on the way out. Umaga gets the victory in a pretty piss-poor match, but this had its place, and it did its job. 3 out of 10. Ric Flair loses to almost everybody, so why not lose to Umaga in his debut match? 3 out of 10. And let's move on. Trish Stratus defeats Mickie James via disqualification in a very disappointing rematch. Their match at WrestleMania 22, as I stated, was the best women's match that they had up at that point. I would even say that was better than Trish versus Lita. It was the best match at that point until WrestleMania 32's Triple Threat Women's title match. But this match was just dog shit. It ends in about 4.5 minutes with Mickie James getting herself disqualified by choking the hell out of Trish Stratus. I did like the whole matchup picture. It's Mickie James dressed as Trish Stratus and Trish dressed as Mickie. I love the rivalry, but my God, this match had a lot left to be desired, and this is one of the worst rematches I've ever seen. Very bad match, 3 out of 10 as well. Rob Van Dam defeats Shelton Benjamin to capture the Intercontinental Championship. Rob Van Dam is Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank, and why not also be the Intercontinental Championship holder as well? Rob Van Dam had one hell of a year in 2006, and I honestly forgot he was Intercontinental Champion at this point in time. So he defeats Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin's mama wasn't there, but I'm sure her big boy, her precious joy, I'm sure him losing the title did not make her too happy whatsoever. I give it a 7 out of 10, of course. There was some really cool shit going on here. Shelton Benjamin counting the Rolling Thunder into, I believe it was a Samoan drop or something like that. It was really cool shit. Very cool match. 7 out of 10. What more could you expect from two solid, gifted athletes? Next up, we have Kane and the Big Show in a no contest in a match that was really, really fucking horrible and boring. To be honest, Kane and the Big Show, they wrestled each other a million times ever. All the time, they've wrestled a lot. And almost all their matches are dog shit. I cannot name one match that was fucking decent. This match was just bad. It plays off this whole May 19th Kane. May 19th Kane. And my God, Kane at this point had so many terrible, terrible gimmicks, so many terrible, stupid storylines going on. From Katie Vick to Kane being the good guy rapist to now this, May 19th. And we all know where this is going to lead into the imposter Kane bullshittery. Good Lord, can they not do this shit with Kane? This is the type of shit that really pissed me off at the time. I was 12 years old at the time, and this really, really pissed me off. I hated everything about May 19th. May 19th and how Big Show is going to, it has to snap Kane out of it and try to get Kane back to normal as if Kane wasn't a monster. Did you not forget he's a good guy rapist? Do you not remember how he set people on fire, you guys? But because now it's May 19th, all of a sudden he's a monster again. And we have to have Big Show, try to get Kane, the big red monster, snap out of this May 19th bullshit to go back to being normal. What's normal Kane? A Kane where he doesn't set people up on fire? I don't know. Anyways, this was a shitty match. 3 out of 10. Ends in a no contest when Big Show gets a steel chair, whacks Kane right in the face of it. Instead of getting disqualified, he just leaves the ring and the match is over. We don't see a conclusive victor. We don't see anything. Big Show's not disqualified. He's not counted out. But this ends in a no contest. I don't get it. May 19th, more like a whole load of bullshittery. 3 out of 10. See no evil. Oh my God, I see no fucking good in this match. Next up, we have the most ridiculous tag team match I've ever fucking seen. It is the McMahons, Vince McMahon, and taking on Shawn Michaels and God. God himself is going to come down from the heavens and tag team with his favorite human being in Shawn Michaels, his favorite wrestler. But before we get to this tag team match, we have Candice Michelle complaining that she has chest pains. And of course she has chest pains. And of course McMahon has to massage her breasts and her sides because that's what the script dictates. Of course, they have to have Vince McMahon massage Candice Michelle and pretend that it's a fucking miracle that she no longer has chest pains. I said I missed bra and panties matches. And I miss evening gown matches. And I miss that kind of crap. But there's one thing I don't miss. And that's Vince McMahon being super horny towards the divas. Being super horny and try to molest them. Or sexually assault them. I really hated that all the time. And he did it with every fucking woman on the roster back then. Could you imagine if they were still doing this shit? Here's Vince McMahon, and you got Sasha Banks complaining that she has chest pains and she needs to be massaged by Vince McMahon, and only Vince McMahon can do it. So they have Vince McMahon massage Sasha Banks or whomever the fuck, or Alexa Bliss. Could you imagine the kind of bullshit, the kind of hatred Vince McMahon and the company would get? My goodness, it was crap. Anyways, let's get to this match. A whole lot of crap goes down. God comes down and he has a spotlight. Of course, there's nobody there because God's not going to show up. But anyways, they have this spotlight, and he has this ominous music playing, and then Vince McMahon cuts it, and then all of a sudden we're starting to dance. Look at me, Dad, I'm dancing, and um, we get Somebody Call My Mama playing, and here's Vince McMahon, who is red as shit. He is dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing, and it's fucking crap. This is just insanity to a level. Vince McMahon is so insane that the word insane cannot be described anymore. It has to be a new word: crazy and insane. Insane and crazy, insanesies, I don't know, but whatever you want to call it, it's not insane. It's definitely a step above that. Anyways, this is a handicap match because, of course, God's not going to show up because God's not a person, it's a spirit. But whatever the fuck, whatever your beliefs in. Did this piss me off at the time? No, it didn't, because I'm not really that religious of a person, and it still doesn't piss me off, but I understand that did piss off a lot of people. Overall, this was a fun match. It was fun. It was the McMahons versus Shawn Michaels. What more could you want? Shawn Michaels beats the shit out of McMahon's, and then the Spirit Squad comes down, evens it up, I guess, because 7-on-1 is enough to even it up. And they beat down Shawn Michaels. They do that big-ass catapult type move where each Spirit Squad member grabs an arm and a leg and then toss up the opponent and went through a table. Vince McMahon gets a pinfall, and there you go. The McMahons defeat Shawn Michaels and God, because of course Vince McMahon is going to put himself over God. Now, what really makes this match over the top is Jim Ross's commentary. Like, he is just like, oh, look at Vince. Look at Shane, the demon seed of the chairman. Does he have no heart, you son of a bitch? And the moment Vince McMahon wins this match, he, in the most in your face, abruptly says, "That's bullshit." There's no sugarcoating it. There's no laughter. It's just abruptly, explosively, all, he says it so matter of factly, it's just crazy, and you need to hear it back. That's bullshit. I apologize. Because then Kevin Dunn starts yelling at him. I apologize. I apologize. That's bullshit. So Vince McMahon wins in a decent match, but otherwise, a lot of people would say this is bullshit. 6 out of 10. McMahon's get the victory over Shawn Michaels and God. Well, and then we get to the triple threat match. It's John Cena, Edge, and what the Schleg Daddy would say is the real God in Triple H. This is a great main event, and this is where this show actually is most rememberable, because all these matches honestly are not very memorable. Carlito and Masters has a pretty decent match, but very forgettable. The horrible matches in between those good matches are pretty damn bad and forgettable, though. While McMahon's and God and Shawn Michaels had a fine match, is really just the McMahons beating up Shawn Michaels in an no holds barred match. But the main event was really good. The build up, each person had a victory over the other person. John Cena defeated Edge, because of course he fucking did. Edge defeated Triple H, and Triple H defeated John Cena. So this was so whoever won this was definitely the best man out of the three. Edge main event in this pay-per-view as he should have, and he should have main evented WrestleMania. This is what WrestleMania should have been all along. This is a good match, a great main event. John Cena, Triple H, Edge, and John Cena picks up the victory after so much good shit goes on. Edge gets his ass tossed out quite a lot, and this basically ends a lot like WrestleMania 22 did. However, Triple H did manage to get out of the STFU. However, it kind of ends a lot like SummerSlam 2002 with Shawn Michaels, with Triple H going for the pedigree on John Cena, and then John Cena gets a schoolboy victory over a bloody ass Triple H. John Cena retains the WWE Championship, but we're not done here, as Triple H beats the ever living crap out of John Cena and Edge. So John Cena is left a bloody mess along with Edge. Yes, he did retain his title, but it's Triple H a bloody mess as he leads. Maybe he didn't win the match, but he does leave out on top. So the game leaves the show on top without the strap. Anyways, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a crazy show with McMahon and the McMahonism, God being booked, and but you also had some really low points. You had May 19th. You had Trish and Mickie James. You had Umaga. Ugh. But anyways, that's Backlash. I give it a 5.2 out of 10. And I'll catch you next time for SmackDown's turn in Judgment Day. SmackDown has a new star that they had to debut. And we see how the Great Khali will do. I'll catch you next time for Judgment Day. Goodbye.